Hey everybody, welcome to another how-to video with Matt. Today I'm going to show you how to make these simple wooden jack-o'-lanterns out of scrap wood. But first, you're going to need a few things. Alright, so let's go over everything that you're going to need to do this project. You're going to need some 1x6 lumber. You're going to need a tape measure and a speed square. You'll need a pen or pencil. I prefer using a pen. You need a miter saw, a jigsaw. You'll need a 1/2-inch size drill bit, a drill. You need some stain, a torch, or both. It depends on how you want to finish it out. You also need a sander and some sandpaper, wood clamps, impact driver, and you'll need some nails and glue. And up to this point right here, it's up to you to use screws or nails. On this project, I'm going to use nails. And then you need to get yourself some wood glue and a LED candle light. Alright, so the first cut that you want to make, guys, is you want to go ahead and cut 3 of your boards out at 9 inches each, right? So once you got 3 of your boards, you can go ahead and label them. You can put one as your front. You can put your second one as your back. But on your third board, what we're going to do with it is cut it right down the middle, guys, at 2 3/4 inch. So go ahead and make 2 3/4 inch mark here and one there, and we'll take our square or a straight line and we'll go ahead and cut this board right down the middle. But you can see how I did. I went and put side A and side B, right? So these will be your 2 side pieces right there. So go ahead and get those cut out now. Alright, so the next cut that you want to make, guys, is you want to pull your tape from one end of your board and you want to make sure it's 6 1/2 inches long, and then you want to make sure that it is 4 1/4 wide, and this is going to be the top of your hut and will also be the same measurements for the bottom of the project. So go ahead and cut yourself out 2 of these at 6 1/2 by 4 1/4 wide. And for your final cut, guys, you need to take just a little piece of leftover wood from cutting out pieces and make sure that it is 2 inches long by 2 1/4 wide, guys. So that will be the top piece that goes on the very top of it. So let's go ahead and get started with drawing out our face now. Alright, guys, so now it is time to get creative on your own. And what I basically did is you just take one of your main boards that's going to be your front piece, and you just take one of your boards like this right here and just lean it up on the sides nice and straight. Pop you a line on both sides, that way you know you're not going to cut into the sideboards. It's going to be going this way, right? So here's a quick little example right there. You just got to be creative for yourself and make your own little design. So that's what I decided to do, is make it like a little toothy, creepy smile, like, and then I made one that's just kind of funky, creepy looking also right there. So now once you've got your jack-o'-lanterns designed out, we need to drill some holes in it for our jigsaw, and then we'll be ready to cut these patterns out. Alright, so for example, with this one right here, I'm just going to take my 1/2-inch drill bit, and what I want to do is just find nice little spots where I can get my jigsaw into to cut the lines out. So I'm going to just kind of get it close to this, in between the eyes right here, right? So we got that going on. So there's a perfect little spot to get in with our jigsaw on that eye. So then I do the same thing on this eye. And then I'll go and do a piece on the nose and maybe a couple of different holes on the mouth right here, guys. But then that will give us enough room to stick our jigsaw blade into. So go ahead and drill you a couple holes out, and then we'll be ready to use our jigsaw to cut it out. Alright, so once you've made your boards like Swiss cheese, like I did right here, we are ready to use our jigsaw and go ahead and start cutting out our patterns. And I'm not going to bore you with that, cutting it out, guys. You know how to do that by this point in stage. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get these cut out, and we'll see our end results. Alright, guys, so there we go. We got both of our pieces cut out right here. So if you can see, a little rough around the edges from the jigsaw, but that's okay. All you gotta do is just take you a little bit of sandpaper, sound down these edges right here nice and smooth, and get that smooth out. Then you'll be ready to start putting it together. Alright, guys, so we took our sandpaper and files and went around and cleaned up all the edges, front and back side, just to make it look a little nicer. So now you got some options before we put these together, guys. You want to either go ahead and stain your pieces, paint your pieces, or you can do the classic old wood burn style, which I'm going to do for this video. So what I'm going to do basically is just take my propane torch and I'm going to burn all the wood and all my pieces And I want to make sure I get some pieces. You want to make sure you get front and back, especially like the sides and your back pieces right there. On the back sides of your front faces there, you do want to get the inside lips real good. So what I'm gonna do is like charcoal out the insides really dark, right, on the inside. That way it'll highlight the eyes, nose, and mouth. But on the outside, outskirts of the pieces, like in here and places like that, I'm just gonna lightly kind of burn it to give it just a nice little wood look touch to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on that now, and then once we get it all burned, we'll go over it with our wire brush and then smooth it down with some sandpaper. Then we'll be ready to put them together. Alright, so now that you have all of your pieces burnt with your torch, what you need to do now is take a wire brush and simply just look at the way the grain goes, guys. And in this case, you can see the grains obviously go that way. So that's the way I want to brush it, right? And it's just simply is doing this right here with your wire brush, just scratching the surface, and it's going to remove all that soot. You can go back and forth in certain spots to get it real deep in there like that. And what you want to do is just quickly brush over every bit of it. And like I said, the grain's going that way. So you want to go with the grain. And it's starting to rain a little bit while I'm out here. We're about to go inside here in a minute. That way we can finish these up. So you never want to do like that right there. You never want to do that, because what it's going to do is going to scratch your wood and make it look bad, right? So now I got to spend just a little extra time knocking everything down that way. Even on the sides like here, you can see where we burn it with the torch. Just quickly go over it with a wire brush, and it's going to clean it down and give it that nice brown look, guys. So go ahead and clean up all of your pieces, then we'll finally be ready to put this thing together. Alright guys, so what we need to do now is take our front piece right here that we got. Look how nice that turned out right there. And then we're going to take our back piece. You want to stick them up just like that. And then you want to take your two sides, of course, and stick them on the inside. Just like that right there. And you want to go ahead and do that with your other side piece. And go ahead and get them lined up. And then you'll need to take your wood clamps, right? And we're going to go ahead and clamp this stuff all together nice and tight and level. Then we'll be ready to hammer our nails in. Alright, so now that you've got these sides all nailed together, just like that right there, guys, what you need to do is take your top and bottom pieces right here, and you're going to want to take a tape measure, and you just want to measure out a 1/2 inch on two sides of the board. So right there, you just mark a 1/2 inch, and then you come over here and mark you a 1/2 inch that way, guys, and that's going to tell you where it needs to be lined up on the top right here when you go to put your top piece on and your bottom piece. So make sure, like I said, that you mark the 1/2 inch mark and then line that up on your boards. That'll be your top and bottom piece right there. Then go ahead and mount those with your wood clamps and nail those in place. Alright, so now we got both the top and the bottom of our piece right here nailed together. So now we need to put this little middle piece right here. And what you need to do, guys, is come over here on the top of your board right here. What you're going to do is you're going to pull your tape right here, and you're going to mark it at 3 1/4. And then you're going to mark at your 3 1/4 mark. And then you're going to come in and mark 1 1/8. That is going to be your dead center mark for your little board right here, right? And then what you need to do, guys, is take your little block, and as you can see, the center of that is 1 1/4. Make you a little mark right there at 1 1/4, and you're going to use that mark to line yourself up with your 3 1/4 and your 1 1/8, and that lets you know that you are dead center of the top of your piece right there, guys. So then what we can do is shoot some small little nails right here in the top, or you can just wood glue it. But once we attach that, then we're going to measure out the center of this block and then put us a little hanging piece right here, just like that. And so the measurement on your block right here, guys, is going to be 1 1/4 by 1 inch over. Mark that crosshair mark, and that will be your center mark to put your hanging hook in. Alright guys, so once you've got your top hook screwed into place, and go ahead and shoot you a couple of little small nails or screws right here in the top right here, then your project is complete as far as building it. Then you just need to pick yourself up a couple of these little LED candles right here, guys. It doesn't matter. The brighter you can find, the better, but this is all that I could find right here at my local little hardware store that they had. But you just go ahead and stick your candles inside like that. All right, and let's cut the light off real quick. And there we go, guys. There is our wooden jack-o'-lantern. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that like button down below for me and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful week. Peace.